Hi, I'm Amanda Hahn.
And I'm Matt MacFarland with Keystone CPA.
We are CPAs by day and real estate investors by night, and you might have heard us on some BiggerPockets podcasts or maybe even read some of our blogs.
We also wrote a book for BiggerPockets called Tax Saving Strategies for the Savvy Real Estate Investor, so check it out.
All right, today we're going to talk about legal entity structuring for real estate investors. Entity structuring, what kind of entity is best for my real estate, is probably the most frequently asked question that we get of all time. All investors have this question. Nobody has the answer, right? Or do we have the answer?
Hopefully we have the answer, right? So I think when you're looking at potential entity structures for your rental properties, there's a couple things you have to look at. You have to look at, from a tax perspective, what are the tax reasons, tax advantages, disadvantages, but also look at it from an asset protection / legal side of things. Now, obviously, we're not attorneys, so we're going to be talking a lot about the tax things, and just overall as an investor, what are some things you should be looking at, right?
Yeah, and when it comes to legal entity for real estate, we typically like to split it into two different groups, right? One group for the rental income, so rental from single family, multifamily, commercial properties and the like, and then the other is active real estate income. And by active, we mean realtors commissions, brokers commissions, property management income. Maybe if you're syndicating, those are on the active bucket. So first, let's talk about the rental bucket, right?
Yeah, so now this might blow your mind, but this is kind of common myth, is that for rental properties, whether you own the property in your personal name or you own it in an LLC that you own, 100% of the LLC, there's absolutely no tax difference at all. Okay, so you can own it in your personal name if you want, you can own it in an LLC if you want. Now again, this is from a tax perspective. From legal reasons, there might be, asset protection reasons why you want to use an LLC. From a rental property, we do like using LLCs because they are very flexible. It's easy to get properties in and out of without any tax consequences. So that's probably the most common legal entity structure for our investors that own rental properties.
Yeah, and then when it comes to active real estate, so one of the things to understand is when you have active real estate income, again, that's commissions, management fees, maybe syndication fees. That type of income is potentially subject to self-employment or payroll taxes. And because that is an additional layer of tax, entity structuring oftentimes can help you save a pretty significant portion to taxes. So let's go over an example, right? If you made $100,000 in your LLC of commissions income, you might be paying all, federal, state, and self-employment taxes. Now, alternatively, if that $100,000 was instead earned inside of your S corporation, with payroll versus dividend strategies, you might be saving up to $7,000 in taxes alone. And so that's why it's really important to make sure when we talk about entity structuring, are you looking at active income or are you looking at rental income? Because the answer to that will depend on, first and foremost, what type of real estate income you're generating.
So when looking at which entity to use for your real estate business, you have to look at, obviously what type of business you have, as Amanda was talking about, what type of income, is it rental, is it active? But the things you're looking to accomplish, right? What should your entity structure accomplish? You're looking to minimize taxes, obviously, depending on the type of income you have. You're looking to maximize your asset protection. A lot of clients are looking for privacy. They want to, provide privacy so people don't know what business they're into, obviously. I mentioned flexibility earlier. We want to be able to have a lot of flexibility without tax consequences to move a property from an LLC to your personal name if you need to do that for refi. And you should all be also looking at minimizing complexity and cost. A lot of times we see people with way too complex structures for what they need, and that becomes costly not just from a legal perspective, but also from a tax filing perspective as well.
Other things to kind of answer, right, in determining what is the best entity structuring for your real estate. First is to look at what type of property are you investing in. Is it single family? Is it residential? Is it commercial property? And also you want to ask or find out, how long do you plan to hold the property? Is it going to be a really short-term hold? Is it going to be a quick flip? Right? Is it going to be a wholesale? Is it going to be a long-term rental? These types of things help determine the best entity for you.
Are you going to have a loan on the property, or is it going to be an all-cash purchase? What's your projected income you're going to make over the next 1 to 5 years? What type of income? What is your exit strategy? Believe it or not, you should be thinking about your exit strategy before you buy your property. So have that in mind. What else is going on outside of real estate? Not just real estate related, but in your own world, in your own portfolio, from a financial perspective, what else is going on? Because that can also play a role in determining, kind of the recommended course of action for your asset protection needs?
So the answers to all these questions are things that you need to maybe take a little bit of time to think through, right? But it's really important to do that because all of this will help you and your advisor in determining ultimately what is the best entity structure for you overall for your real estate investments. And that's why we say it's not an easy answer to, should I have a legal entity or what kind of entity, because there's not a one size fits all solution.
Right.
So make sure you're working with your advisor on that. And this is one of those things where it could be a very costly mistake too. If you form an entity, you have your properties in the wrong entity, sometimes it can result in unintended tax consequences that are very difficult and costly to unwind as well.
Well, thanks for watching. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe below to the rest of the BiggerPockets video series.
Yeah, and check out our book on BiggerPockets, Tax Strategies for the Savvy Real Estate Investor.